Let's talk advice with your host, Jonah Keen. Welcome to the Jonah Keen Podcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Jonah Keen Podcast. Episode 1 was a huge success with my good friend Jordan B. Peterson and my other friend Sean Johnson.
Here today with podcast.
I'm here with my special guest, Joshua Rapley.
It's your boy.
Josh
Rapley.
You may be asking yourself, guys, why is he on the podcast? And here's the answer. I decided I would like Josh on the podcast. He's a longtime fan, and I thought he would suit well on the podcast.
Big time fan. Big fan.
You guys might have some questions, maybe perhaps to why I kind of speak like this right now. And it's because I'm kind of drunk. Okay, I had a little too many Coors Lights, and I forgot completely about the podcast I had to record in 30 minutes. And I was at Dave & Buster's. I looked at my phone and I said, "Oh, look at the time. I need to get going." And so I drove home. I almost got a DUI, barely missed the police, barely missed the old lady on the sidewalk. And that's just a joke, guys. It's not real.
Hey, Jonah. I got something. You know what they say? Time flies when you're having fun. Where else do you have fun? Dave & Buster's.
I like that. We should be on the podcast more often. Anyways, so Josh, how are you doing tonight?
Jonah, I am pumped and jazzed for tonight. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, that's what I like to hear.
Yeah.
All right, let's get started on some advice. As you know,
hey,
Josh.
Jonah, Zoom high five. Yeah, there we go.
I like that.
You're my boy.
All right, Josh, you're one hell of a dude. Now let's get started on some advice. As you may know, Josh, as you may know, I am Mr. Advice. Jonah, Mr. Advice Keen. That's what they call me.
That's what made me fall in love with this podcast, bro, is that you give advice.
I give great advice. I have a lot of fun. I give great advice. Everyone says so. So
and you know what? And I'm one of those kind of guys that loves having fun. I don't know about you, but I get that sense from you too.
I do like to have fun, especially when I have one Coors Light in me and I'm at Dave & Buster's watching the big game, Bill Pacers.
Fucking A.
Yeah. Can we keep the language down to a minimum, please?
Oh shit! Sorry, Jonah. Sorry.
Thanks. All right. Let's get started with some advice. As everyone knows, it's an advice show, and today I'm thinking of tackling pet-themed advice. Advice for pets, because you may have a pet, a dog or a cat, or maybe even a ferret. I have advice for all these animals, and I'm just going to go down the list. I have a list out in front of me, a list of all sorts of advice for all these sorts of animals. So, Josh, you could just help me with this. I know you may not be a huge pet person, but we can...
I'm a big dog head.
He's a big dog head, and that's what I like to hear, because I may not have had a dog growing up, but I did indeed have a hamster growing up. So that's similar.
You're a hamster freak?
I'm more of a hamster head myself. But let's get started on this pet-themed advice, starting off with dogs. Here's some facts about dogs. Their lifespan is 10 to 13 years, and they sleep 12 to 14 hours a day. And your dog can be left or right pawed. So that means your dog can have a dominant paw. And even some dogs are actually incredible swimmers. So just think about that.
That's true.
It is true. And that is all the facts I have about dogs. Let's move on to cats. Now, cats lived about 2 to 16 years, and they sleep pretty much 12 to 16 hours a day. They can run up to 30 miles per hour, which I'd say is pretty fast.
I give that to you, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just not a big cat fiend.
Yeah.
That's your show, Jonah. Just sorry to interrupt.
Thanks for the input, Josh. Let's move along with the mice facts. A mice or mouse or mices live, depending on the mice, 2 years or even 5 to 7 years. They can be as long as 3.4 inches or even 3.8 inches, but they can also be small as well.
Well, way bigger than that. That's the truth.
Here's some more fun facts about mices. Mices are good jumpers, climbers, and swimmers. In fact, mices can jump a foot into the air, allowing them to easily climb on the kitchen counters or into pantries.
You know, it's funny, Jonah, you say that because I could bring up a really funny story. I did this prank to my wife, Catherine.
Yeah?
So I buy these, people own snakes, okay? People own snakes for pets. You seen this? Have you heard this?
We're going to get to the snake facts later, Josh. Don't you worry.
I'm not doing, no, I'm not taking your part of the show. I'm not doing facts. I'm not doing that. I wouldn't do you wrong.
It's not facts or advice.
What I am doing, though, is I'm telling you about the prank where I buy these mice. They're meant to be snake food. Have you seen this? Have you heard this?
I've heard this.
So I flood the kitchen with mice, all right? If you could see it, you would die of a heart attack because it's that funny. My wife comes home. I'm already in the garage, laughing my ass off because I know what's about to happen. She's
Again, with the language.
Sorry. Snickering my ass off. And she's about to come in the kitchen because I know that's what's going to be the funny part. She doesn't know this. Do you see this? Do you know what's happening?
I understand.
So she comes in the kitchen, mice everywhere. She screams to high heaven, jumps on a chair, and guess what happens?
What happens?
The mice get up and they jump on the chair. So my wife, Kathy, she gets off the chair and she jumps on the kitchen dining room table where we all eat. Me and my 7 kids. And guess what the mice do next? You know what these mice are bred for? To be food for snakes, but they got X-Men genes and they jump all over the kitchen table, all over what my wife and kids eat, and they get on her cankles. So now the prank has gone sour, and I got to get out of the garage and say, sorry, honey. I'm sorry I bought 150 rats. I'm sorry this plank got way south. Can you ever forgive me? Will you marry me? And that's when my wife married me. And we said yes.
That's a wonderful story, Joshua Rapley. Let's get on to hamster facts. Hamsters are rodents belonging to the subfamily Cristinae, which contains 19 species classified in 7 genera. They have become established as popular small pets. Well, actually, I had a hamster growing up. His name was Snowball, and he was a little white hamster. He's so cute and fluffy.
I'm picturing him right now.
He was so cute and so small, and he was in his little cage, and he was just the greatest. Anyways, let's move on to rabbits.
Jonah, you can't see it right now, but I'm petting him in my head.
That is just the cutest thing. Now let's move on to rabbits. Let's move on to rabbit facts, okay? Rabbits are small mammals in the family Lepidae of the order Lecomorpha. Lifespan of a rabbit, 9 years. A speed of a rabbit, 25 miles per hour. Now, that's a little confusing for me.
I got a joke for you.
Go ahead.
What about Oh, damn it. Never mind. Keep going.
And the speed, 25 miles per hour. Now, the interesting thing about that is cats run 30 miles per hour and rabbits only run 25. So cats are actually faster than rabbits. So you can check that off on the history books. Cats are faster than rabbits. Let's move on to snakes. Now, I'm not a huge fan of snakes, but here's some snake advice just in case you're interested in having a snake as a pet. Snakes don't have eyelids. Snakes can't bite food, so they actually have to swallow it entirely whole, which...
Well, I'll tell you one thing. My wife, Catherine, swallows my snake whole.
This is your final warning, Josh. One more word about your...
Jonah, I'm sorry.
Let's just move on to cow facts. Now, some people who may live on a farm have cows as pets. They like to pet them and take them on walks. So let's discuss cows. Cows can live up to 22 years and they can be pregnant for 283 days. Their maximum speed is 25 miles per hour. Now again, cats are faster than cows. It's another one for the history books. Let's move on to chickens. Chickens can live up to 10 years. Their maximum speed is 9 miles per hour. And here's a joke about chickens. Why did the chickens cross the road? Maybe they just want to live their lives without having their motives questioned.
Oh, was that one of those social SJW jokes?
Let's move on to horses. The horse is a domesticated... Let's move on to horses. Horse is a domesticated odd-toed ungulate mammal. A lifespan of a horse is 30 years, and it can weigh up to 2,200 pounds. That's a lot of weight. They sleep for about 3 hours, which, if I slept for 3 hours, I'd be quite the cranky guy, and their height can be up to 6 feet. That's pretty tall. Let's move on to crow facts. Now, a crow is a pet that my sister had when we were growing up, and she loved her crows very much. And here's some crow facts. A wingspan of a common crow, aka common raven, 5 feet. That's maximum wingspan, 5 feet. And the lifespan is 15 years. Now that's some fascinating facts about crows. And finally, for the finale, we have the ferrets. And I put ferrets at the end.
Drum roll, please.
I put ferrets at the end because F stands, it's ferret, and F also for finale. The ferret finale.
So this is why your podcast is so successful.
I hope you're not being sarcastic, Joshua. Don't catch me when I'm drunk like this, because I will fight you.
Uh-oh. Jeez.
The lifespan of a ferret is 10 years, and they sleep for about 18 hours a day, which is actually a lot of hours, if I say so myself.
No, ferret enough.
And a length of a ferret without the tail would be 15 inches. And that's about all the pet facts I have today. Josh, you have any last final words?
Yeah, you want to know what a pet fact I have is?
Yeah.
That's a pet peeve. You got a pet peeve. That's a fact.
Well, I mean, I don't know about that.
I'm sorry.
Thank you, Joshua Rapley, for being on my show. You added a lot to the conversation about pet themed advice. You gave a lot of good
Pet
advice,
peeves.
a lot of funny stories, and a lot of
The
laughs.
world. I just want to be on here every single episode. Thank you, Jonah.
I know you had a great time. Uh, it was great having you. And until next time, everyone say goodbye to Joshua Rapley.
See you guys.
Now let's get on to the advertisement.
Today's episode sponsor is Sears Discount Photography. Do you ever need a professional photo taken of you in fast and cheap? Well, no sweat, because Sears has the answer for your problem. Simply go to your nearest mall and go to the Sears and ask for a discount photograph. They'll take you to the closet in the back of the Sears, set up their equipment, and shout, "Lights, camera, action." Quick tip, make sure to say cheese when you're taking your picture. And then, snap, crackle, pop. Your professional pictures are hot and ready to be attached to a resume, a portfolio, or uploaded to your Instagram. On the screen right now, you can see some pictures that were taken of me at Sears Discount Photography. The quality is supreme. Here's some advice from Jonah, Mr. Advice Keen. Sears Discount Photography has everything you need for some inspiring photography. Thank you, Sears Discount Photography, for sponsoring today's episode. Now, let's get back to the program.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Jonah Keen Podcast. I am now here with Michael J. Hamilton, Professor Michael J. Hamilton, and we're here to
all right.
we're here
Go
to
on.
talk about your new book, Kids and Their Crotches, a book for children going through those years. And it's a book about puberty, and we're here
Yes.
just to talk all about it. So, fire away.
Okay, well, thank you, Jonah, for the introduction. It's very sweet of you to say. So yeah, I'll just start out. The book took about, I don't know. In all honesty, about 14 years to write because I based the book off my sons, Robert and William. They're both now 24 and 27 respectively. So I had to take notes diligently while I was their father. But at the same time, it was hard because I had to write down all these notes as a researcher. So you can imagine the struggle I had as both the father and the proctor of this experiment. So there was definitely a lot of imbalance between me as me as a researcher and me as a father. So I'll say it definitely put a strain on our relationship as father and son, or both of them really. But we look back on it now, and it's becoming something great because I really did raise them in a not to self boast here, but I really raised them up well. I think.
Well, that's fantastic, Michael. I'm so very happy about your sons and your book. Could you tell me more about what the book's about? Because you mentioned that you wrote it for 14 years, and you mentioned your sons, but you still haven't really
Yes.
talked about what the book's actually about. And I don't want to beat around the bush here, because I know your book is an advice book. That's why you're on the show. Kids in Their Crotches, a book for children. You're giving advice on children going through those years being puberty.
Yes. Oh, excuse me. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. Oh,
Yeah, that's okay.
okay. All right. I'm sorry, Joan. I got so sidetracked talking about my boys. Anyone who knows me, they know how I get. Talking about my boys, I can go on for hours and hours on end. Okay, so the book, Jonah, if I could say, it's Jonah. Can I level with you, son?
Go ahead.
I understand the book is called Kids in Their Crotches, but in all honesty, Jonah, between you and I, the book is honestly about sons, boys, becoming men, grown men, if that makes any sense at all.
It makes
Because,
sense.
as I said before, I I have two boys at home. Oh, not at home, excuse me. I have two boys. I raised them up myself, me and my wife, Janet. And I noticed my boys becoming confused, let's say, with the hormones that they are facing. And so I and my team decided we're going to write about how to deal with this because I'm going to tell you, Jonah, you were there. I was there. These hormones are going crazy all the time. These boys are experiencing these
I
new
was
experiences,
there.
and well, at one point you were, weren't you, son?
Oh, I mean, that's true. Sorry.
Um, as I was saying, these boys are going through so much. They are experiencing a whole new wave of hormones and testosterone. I tell you, and there's one big challenge that parents face when dealing with boys growing up, and that is the amount of testosterone that these boys have in their mammary glands and all over. It is profound the amount of testosterone that these young men possess because I'll tell you, at my old age, my wife sure wishes I could have some of that now. Oh, listen to me ramble on like an old man that I am. But yeah, I want to help parents understand how to deal properly with these young men who are becoming progressively aggressive, more angry, confrontational. And I myself struggled with that because I didn't know how to deal with it. I didn't. I tried my best, and my boys turned out all right in the end. But if I did that just a different way, it could have really screwed them up. So I want to help parents understand the right way to do this, because there is a right way and a wrong way, Jonah. I do say that. That is 100%. Do it the wrong way. These boys, they're screwed up for life. I'm sorry to say it. There's a good way to do this and a bad way. And if you follow my way by reading my book, your boys were going to A-OK.
Wow. Well, I actually only have one boy, and he's only 3 right now.
Oh, beautiful.
But I'll
What's his name?
definitely. His name? Oh,
Yeah,
Johnny. Johnny's his name.
Johnny. Oh, it's adorable.
Thanks. I currently haven't seen him in a few months because my
Oh, I'm
wife
sorry to
currently
hear
has
this.
the children on the other side of town, and there's a lawsuit and all that. However,
No, yeah, I understand, son. It's a child psychologist. I see tons of young boys who deal with single parent homes. But if Jonah, listen here, son. I know you're a good father. You're doing the best you can right now, and you're trying your hardest. And I think little Johnny will see that in you.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sorry to get sidetracked again, my son. I'm sorry.
Oh no, it's okay. Thank you so much, Michael.
Thank you for having me on. I really appreciate you giving me the opportunity to market my book because me and my team we've worked so hard on this for almost 2 decades now, and I would hate for this to not go anywhere. So, Jonah, I thank you. I thank you. I thank you, my friend, and give my best to your son and to your little girl.
Okay. Hope you have a good one, Michael. Love you.
Thank you.
Love you tons. You're doing a
Love you
great.
too, my boy.
Oh, I love you too, Michael.
Oh,
All
I
right.
love you too.
Oh. Okay. Well, thank you everyone for watching. This has been that Jonah Keen Podcast. We are here You just heard Michael J. Hamilton talk about his book, Kids in Their Crotches. Signing off. Bye.